And I feel like the safest bet is to be home.
Be home. Listen, be at the house.
To be in the house.
Listen, I be
you
at the
can't
house.
say nothing about me. I was in the house.
Listen,
Check my
watching
location.
Law and Order SVU.
Hey,
It was
okay.
me and Olivia
I was watching
Benson.
Scandal.
Okay.
Me and Olivia Pope. Okay.
Oh,
Olivia.
come on, Olivia.
With the Olivia.
With the Olivia.
You ain't gonna have me out. No.
No.
Y'all, today we've got the brilliant trailblazer Jordan E. Cooper, the youngest black playwright on Broadway, creator of Ain't No More, showrunner of The Miss Pat Show, and the writer-star of the gospel shook Oh Happy Day that was just at the Public Theater. He's funny, fearless, and rewriting the rules. Are y'all ready? Then please help me welcome Jordan E. Cooper. Hey, Jordan.
Hey,
welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
God, I know we're doing our little kiki already, but I've missed you.
I miss you too.
It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you.
Okay. Before we jump into this, thank you. So are
Listen,
you.
You got money.
Listen,
you got money.
I was saying something to you. The skin is looking the kind of way. I said, now the skin looks like that. The money's good. Okay, wait. Before we get too far in, let me give you our messy mandates.
Okay.
So things get to be unprocessed.
Yes.
Any thoughts or opinions shared have the right to shift, change, evolve today, tomorrow, 10 years from now.
Right.
And if during the kiki something feels too personal or unintentionally offends, we use the safe word foosball, which gives us a second to pivot and address accordingly.
Let's do it.
Love
Go
it.
on, foosball.
Foosball. Have you played foosball?
Yes, I love foosball.
You love foosball.
I haven't played it in so long, but that was like my favorite
That was your
table
thing.
game. Yes.
I didn't even know what
loved
it was when I started the show. I was just like,
Really?
I thought it was, what did I think it was? It's the table soccer. I think I thought I thought it involved like a little racket situation.
Oh, like what's that? That's another ball. What they call that?
I don't know.
That's
like the
another-
little, but it look, is it cricket? I don't know.
I don't know.
Sorry.
The child don't ask me. I
No.
know the foot in the basket. That's
Yeah,
all.
that's
That's
all
the
you
only
got.
balls I know.
That's
Well,
all the balls
besides
and other balls.
Yes,
Okay, anyways.
you know.
I love those balls. Okay, how about we start with a loo breaker?
Yes,
Sounds good?
let's do it.
We'll do a smash or pass, okay?
Okay.
So I'll give you a prompt and you'll tell me if you smash it or
Okay.
pass it. I know everybody knows how to do this, but
Come on.
just for the newbies, you know what I'm saying? Okay, smash or pass an ex-partner who says they've grown.
Good for them. I love that for them.
Yeah.
Pass. Oh, that's so great. Blessed be the name.
Blessed be the day. Yeah. My God.
Yeah,
I really,
you know,
baby, I love that.
I
Yeah.
love that for you.
Yeah.
You know, I love to watch an ex just grow into exactly who they were supposed to be.
Absolutely.
You know?
But I don't need to be there.
I don't need to be there.
I don't wanna be part
I
of
must
it.
not be present. I must not be
We're not spinning the block on this.
No.
Now, I've tried. I'll say this. I've tried to do it because I'm like, well, yeah, people do grow. And so let me not
Yes.
hold them
Yes.
to their
Yes.
old standards. But then there's something in my body that's like, it just
Yeah.
stops me every time.
But like, I guess the question is, are you interested in their growth? Because it's like, there can be, I know you're growing, but that doesn't necessarily mean I want your growth.
Yes.
Now, if this was a person who like, I'll be like, if they were just a little bit wiser, if they made these decisions and they say they're grown, then I'm like, okay, let's
see what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. But otherwise, I'm like, okay.
yeah, we might have to go to therapy first. If you're like, we're grown and I'm interested, then I'm like, let's actually start
Right,
therapy and let's
right.
have the conversation.
Yeah, because there's nothing wrong with a spin the block if it's healthy.
If
you
it's
know?
healthy. But 9 times out of 10,
Yeah, nah.
I don't know if it
Nah,
is.
I've had an ex before who would use, so they would be like, oh, I've grown, right? It was a situation where it was like, oh, let's hang out, right? But this person I knew had like I didn't know them to have an alcohol thing,
Yeah.
but like they had an alcohol thing prior to meeting me. But for some reason on this day of like, let's meet back up, they wanna go to bars and have drinks, and so that therefore I can be there and I can be like, no, don't do that, don't
No,
do
you
that,
said
let's
that's
not do
not
that.
me. That's-
I was
that's
like,
not-
no,
that's not my
you wanna
job.
go ahead,
Go ahead,
get
do
you
your
a shot,
thing.
go
That's
ahead.
not my job,
I will
love.
be across the river.
Across the river, love. A
Listen.
body of water between us. I can't
Between
get there.
us. At
I
all.
can't get there.
At all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really do think sometimes you got to leave the exes where they are, because it's
Yeah.
I have a tendency to see the potential and to fall in love with like what my ideal version of you is,
Yeah.
as opposed to what I'm actually
That's
getting in
facts.
this moment.
That's facts.
And sometimes I think the hardest thing is to be like, what am I actually getting in this moment?
Right.
And is it actually enough growth for it to be worth it?
Right, because
And
we'll grow them up in our heads, yeah.
we will grow them up in our heads.
Yeah.
A fucking chia pet, love.
Chia.
Okay. Smash or pass gospel music during sex?
Oh, pass.
Pass.
You know what's crazy?
Tell me.
Is that I had a roommate one time.
Yeah.
who would just not stop having the loudest sex. Mind you, these rooms were so small that they were supposed to be one big room, but these people put a little
one of those
so
fake
that
walls.
they could get two
Yeah,
rents, right?
sure.
And they would just be having the loudest sex. So one morning, it was about 2:30 in the morning. I got to get up for class in the morning. I said, you know what? I got up. I put on some Shirley Caesar. I turned that thing all the way up. I bet you they stopped fucking in. They got real quiet up in there. They got real quiet.
Yes. They got quiet.
Right.
They said Mother Shirley is on and she's watching, love.
Literally.
She's watching.
She's watching.
Pull out, love.
Pull out, love.
Please.
Oh,
not in front of Mother. Okay. Smash or pass a friend helping you get something out of your nose. I don't know why I just got really intense about that, but I have a question.
Yeah, not a fan.
Not a fan.
I'd rather you guide me.
Yes.
Direct me to where. Is it in the alto section? Is it in the tenor section? Is it where, guide me, but don't put your finger,
That's very maternal.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's very close, and like I feel like guide me first.
Guide me first, yes.
And then if I'm
struggle,
not able, if the struggle, then lay hands on me. Love.
If you are willing and not able, lay hands on me.
Then lay hands on me,
exactly,
love.
yeah,
Yes.
right.
All right. Well, you won the game.
Oh, come on.
Yes. And you win my unconditional love, which you already had, but you also get a lollipop. Look over here.
Oh, we love a lollipop.
We got Tootsie Pops, we got Blow Pops, and we got some organics.
Now, what is some organic? I ain't
Now,
never had no organic.
they're like, I think they're just healthier, but I like them. They're tasty.
Yeah,
that's the one I usually pick.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Let's do that. What flavor did you get?
I got strawberry smash.
Okay, that's a good one. I just got a
Smash
pomegranate pucker, which is a good one as well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And you got the organic one too?
The organic ones. I like those. Are the ones I usually go to because the Blow
Whole
Pops.
Food sucker.
Health food, right? The Blow Pops it'd be a little too much in my mouth.
It do, and then they be like sharpening and getting the.
That's right. That's right. They do cut up a little bit, and the gum don't last long enough for me.
It don't.
It's
like
not
3
sweet.
seconds.
3 seconds, and then it's like, get this out of here.
Get it out of my mouth.
And then I don't. I brought the Tootsie Pop because Abby Jacobs was on the show, and she was like, "You need Tootsie Pops." So I brought Tootsie Pops, but I'll say I don't want the chocolate in my lollipop.
I don't like chocolate in my lollipop either.
No, I don't. I don't like chocolate in my lollipop, and I don't like peanut butter in anything.
Anything?
Except on a sandwich with some jam.
Really?
But
so
you put
no
peanut
Reese's peanut.
Please leave. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here.
Wow.
No. I don't want that peanut butter nowhere near nothing.
You said nothing but protein.
No.
Not even a protein shake.
Maybe because I can be like, oh, I'm getting the gains or some shit like that.
Wow.
But not really. No, I had a cookie the other day. It was called a Sunday Surprise, and my partner gave me a piece of it, and I was like, and I was like, something's wrong with this. What is wrong with this? What are the ingredients? What's the surprise? It was peanut butter. I said, yeah, don't put that in my fucking cookie.
Wow. You said, take it out.
Take that away. Take that away.
Wow.
I don't like to be surprised like that. Okay. If you have prompts, email tellmesomethingmessy@gmail.com. Speaking of which, Jordan, can you tell me something messy?
Listen, I've been reading the Epstein emails.
You've been reading them like a novel.
Yes, read them like a novel because it is one.
Yeah,
it is one, and it says that the president, the choker chafer in chief, they said he was guzzling something. He had his own Whole Foods lollipop.
The email say guzzling something.
Guzzling something.
It said
guzzling something.
Okay.
So they said something was in the back of that throat.
Oh my God, my God.
We don't know what's true or false.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Always allegedly, the Wendy Williams of it all.
Allegedly.
Why'd you look down? I saw. I know, maybe this will make it in, maybe it won't, but I did see that Deepak Chopra was in the emails.
No.
That's my reaction.
No.
I said no.
Not Deepak.
Deepak. And I read the email, and it's between him and I think Jeffrey, and they talking about
chokras.
They talking about Trump. Something about Trump. But
so
Deepak
maybe Deepak
Chopra
was going to deliver him? What
That's
what
what I hope. Why was Deepak up in there?
Maybe it was a healing session.
Oh, Lord. I don't know. Maybe he was trying to deliver them, but I don't know. I'm very nervous about that.
That's sad.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
You never know what people be doing.
You don't really know what they do.
Especially like all of Hollywood. I know. We talk about, the Cosbys of it all, the R. Kellys of it all. But the thing is like, that's just the tip of the iceberg. And my thing is, if we're gonna hold them to the cross, we gotta hold a whole bunch of everybody to the cross.
Everybody,
because everybody, we want to talk about Frank Sinatra. We're gonna talk about it.
We gotta talk about everybody.
Listen, everybody.
It's the thing, and let's dive into this. We're gonna talk about the show and talk about church and religion and all that. But I have found, because we're both in this industry, television, film, theater, but I have found that the higher that I climb, the darker it gets. Like that the shadows are really shadowy, which is why I feel like I've had to be really intentional about like who are the people that I hold on to. Like, you know, we both have a relationship with Lena Waithe, and like there are people you're like, oh, they're doing it and they're maintaining their light.
Exactly.
And those are people like I stay, but you're like, oh yeah, because as you climb, like this thing, people get a little. Them Epstein files are no joke.
Yeah.
Like the people that, I mean, even what was it? Melinda Gates was like, I left that man because Bill had a relationship with Epstein, and she's like, I didn't feel comfortable. And you're like, damn,
insane.
Even that, like everybody,
insane. And it's like, that's why I also feel like I just be in the house, because I feel like you don't know what people be doing. You don't know what people be
Jordan,
doing.
it is the number one reason to be in the house.
Listen, you be in the house.
Yes.
You go to work, you do your job.
Yes.
You show up, you gotta show up.
You're not gonna say I was there, love.
You're not gonna say I was there.
That's what happened to me. I was after COVID. I was out because the social media went up, and so people were like inviting me places. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. And after a year of that, I said, I don't really need to be in a lot of spaces because y'all be doing a lot of things.
They be doing it, and it smell hot.
It smells hot. It smells hot.
It smells hot.
It smells hot. Listen, when you walk in, the whiff is crazy.
Listen, you don't know if it's sex or COVID. When you walk in, it just smells hot. It's one of the two.
It's one of the two.
It's one of the two.
I don't know what's in here, but it does smell like trouble too.
Yes.
And I feel like the safest bet is to be home.
Be home. Listen. Be in the house.
To be in the house.
Listen, I be
you
at the
can't
house.
say nothing about me. I was in the house.
Listen,
check my
watching
location.
Law and Order SVU.
Hey, okay.
Me and Olivia
I was watching
Benson.
Scandal.
Okay.
Me and Olivia Pope. Okay.
Oh, come on, Olivia.
With the Olivia.
With the Olivia.
You ain't gonna have me out. No.
No.
I really. The older I get, the higher I climb. I'm like, it's best to be in the house.
It is because you never know. Even when we talk about church, you know, I think about people like James Cleveland in the gospel industry, who like was a godfather of gospel music. He you know, can't nobody do me like Jesus.
Yes,
he had got like hit after hit after hit, but this man allegedly.
That's the name of this episode. Allegedly
passed away from AIDS. But the church knew it as cancer. And what happened was, a year after he passed away, he had adopted a son who he had who he had given AIDS to. Who was 17, I believe. And he was like adopting these boys and like calling them like his sons, but he was like actually like sexually assaulting them.
Oh my God.
And this one of the sons ended up suing the estate like a couple years after his death and saying like, hey, like I want to be paid for it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And the estates, I looked at the court documents, and the estate's response to the lawsuit was, it should have been obvious that Mr. Cleveland had AIDS. Why would you sleep with him?
What?
Yes. They had to settle out of court.
What?
Gospel legend, James Cleveland.
That's insane.
It's wild. It's wild. It's wild.
I don't even know what you do with that.
What do you do with it? Because also it's like, that's the thing about the church, specific church in general, but especially the black churches, like, you know, they still speak his name. You know, you still got the James Cleveland Award at the Stella Awards. You still got, you know, all these things, because either people don't know or they just don't want to know, or they.
Well, that second part I think is so curious about the church. I think the church in general, but, you know, I think both of us grew up in black churches, so we could speak about that, which is that, like, there is if somebody is has done a lot for the community publicly. Yeah. But they're doing some crazy shit privately, we ignore it.
All the time.
We ignore it.
The civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Like there were so many men who were doing all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Who, you know, it was like, oh, well, they're doing, you know, they're doing what they're supposed to do. And I feel like that trickles down into family dynamics too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh, this person pays the rent, or this person pays the bills,
Right.
or this person does
And
this,
so we
or this.
excuse their misbehavior, but then
Exactly.
there are a lot of victims that fall out of that.
Exactly.
Which I guess, well, then that brings us to, you and I have both written these shows that center around religion and church. And so will you actually tell us about Oh Happy Day?
Yeah. So A Happy Day was, it's basically my own modern retelling of Noah's Ark through the lens of this young black queer sex worker who basically believes that he's been told by God that he needs to save his family from the storm or else they're all going to die.
Yeah.
Mind you, this is a family who kicked him out when he was a teenager for being queer.
Right.
So it's this whole idea of like grace and like what does it look like to like actually be able to have these hard conversations in the family dynamics when religion is at the center of it or God is at the center of it, and then what happens when the person who was shunned and told that they were going to hell and told that they were this and they were that is actually the one with direct connection to God.
So what inspired you to write this? Like, where did that come from?
That came from like just growing up black and queer in the South and, you know, constantly living with those dynamics of like thinking that, oh, I'm going to hell, oh, God hates me, oh, you know, shaming sexuality, all these things. And then I think I got to a point when I was in college when I moved to New York where I was like, yo, what if, you know, they were wrong? What if they were all wrong? What if that one that actually has the divine connection is the queer being?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it started from that exploration. And I started writing it before I even really came out to my parents, which is why it took me so long to write. It took me 7 years to write that play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I kept picking it up and putting it down and picking it up and putting it down. And I realized that I wasn't yet mature enough to receive what the play was trying to tell me.
Ooh.
And sometimes I feel like as artists we're given things that we're not yet ready to put out into the earth, but they're meant to teach us something, not us teach the world something, you know.
What have you learned more about yourself?
Oof, that's a great question. What have I learned more about myself?
Or what did it reveal about you finishing that run and being like, I've done the show now?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it revealed more about who you are.
It did. It revealed, one, physically. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. So I'm like so glad that I got through 8 shows a week of that, because I'm like, it was no joke.
Yeah.
It was no joke. So physically, I was very proud of myself. But then also, I was reminded of how cathartic theater can be. Of how it became a ritual for myself. Doing it 8 times a week became a ritual to like remind myself of my own worthiness.
Ooh.
Through the work that I was writing.
Right.
And there were moments where like, you know, things would be going on in my own life or I would have these doubts about, you know, my career or anything, and it was almost like literally the plot of the play was combating everything that I was telling myself, so I had to act that out every night. Like when it came to like looking, like there's this whole thing about like looking crazy. Sometimes God tells you to do something that makes you look crazy to human beings on earth, you know? And the idea that that is the thing, is sometimes you just got to be obedient. Sometimes you just got to be obedient to the thing that seems like it's hard, to the thing that seems like it's impossible. Like there were moments where I felt like I had to be obedient in creating this show, and there were moments where like I would be doing the thing and be obedient. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I don't feel like doing it, but I'm gonna do it. And then not really knowing until like years later, oh, that's why I had to be obedient in that moment, because now I'm seeing it bloom in this moment. But if I didn't do what I was supposed to do in that moment, this would have never happened. This would have never happened.
Intuition is everything.
It really is. You gotta listen and be open to listening, because if you're open to like your intuition, you're open to like listening to what's being given to you, then you actually can like do what you need to do in the earth. But sometimes life can be so noisy. Things can be so noisy.
How
sometimes
do you quiet yourself?
You know, I realize the older I've gotten, I realize that I have to ridiculously silence myself in a way where it's like I have to become a marathon writer. I have become a marathon writer in the sense of like, I'll wake up, don't turn the TV on, don't turn on my phone, cut off all the Wi-Fi so I'm not going down the Google rabbit hole. And just going. Just going for as long as I can. And sometimes I'll create a playlist based around what I'm writing, so when I need a break, I can take a walk or take a shower or something and listen to the world. But it's really about like being intentional about quiet time, because I feel like we have so many distractions at our fingertips.
Yes.
I keep on saying this, but like I feel like we're losing so many artists right now because people are like, when they have an emotion and they have a thought and they have a feeling, the first thing they want to do is make a TikTok video or put it into 160 characters.
Yes.
Nobody sits with the thing and creates something new anymore. Like creates an existing piece of art.
That piece, they get distracted, or they're too scared to put it out.
Yeah.
You know, like this generation who needs everything to look perfect to put it out. And it's like, nah, I think you have to look like an asshole. Yeah. You have to look like a fool in order to get to
cringe
the good. Cringe to get to the thing. I love when they say your skill and your taste don't match. Like you have to keep, like your taste might be up here, but your skill won't be there. You have to keep working so that your skill can match your taste. But that takes time, and that takes effort, and that takes the willingness to be vulnerable, to share some shit. I mean, if I look back at things that I've created and written, there's some shit that I would definitely cringe at, but I couldn't do what I've gotten to
if you didn't do that.
If I hadn't done that. I wouldn't know. To what you said about this show taking like 7 years, you wouldn't know how to carve it and create it and be able to articulate exactly what you wanted if you hadn't gone through those 7 years and more of building and creating and writing other things and building other things that have taught you how to get to this thing. Yeah.
It's like literally that idea of it's okay for things not to work sometimes.
Yes.
It's okay.
It's part of the journey. It's part of the process.
It's literally just a step to the next thing, whatever that next thing is. But so many people are afraid of looking stupid. Like, so many people don't want to go to rehearsal because rehearsal isn't about being perfect. Rehearsal is about falling flat on your face. Ugly. You know what I mean? It really is. And I can't tell you, every time, no matter how many things I write, anytime I look at a blank page, like, I get so much, like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
It's daunting.
I feel like I've never written anything before in my life. Like, it's a humbling.
It always feels like the first time.
Literally.
Always feels the first time. And I always say that, and I really have to, like, I say it, and then I really got tested with it the other day when I was on my couch weeping from exhaustion, where it's like, I don't know is my favorite place. Like, when people tell me I don't know, I'm like, congratulations. Because if you don't know, then that means there's a possibility. It's like we get so much of our worth and our credibility from knowing and also from being right about a thing. But that actually blocks you off from so much creativity. And so when you're in a space of I don't know, that means it could be anything. And as overwhelming as that can be, it's also so beautiful because it means the possibilities are actually endless for you. So go try some shit. But like I said, like the other day I was in a place where it's like, oh, I don't know what's happening with my career, with this, with that thing, with home. And I was on that couch weeping, and I had to be like, actually, this is a beautiful thing. Cry, release it. But like the I don't know is
because it's a form of surrender. Right? I don't know. It's a form of like, let me put my hands up and just ride. Because something is coming. Because
I've been here. Because I always say the evidence of your life proves that you get through things. This moment might feel like the biggest shit, but you've also felt that years prior, and every time you get through it. So it's like, don't get overwhelmed by the one moment as if this is your whole life. Your whole life isn't this moment. It's a beautiful story. And for it to be an interesting story, there's gonna have to be some
hills and valleys, okay?
Nobody wants to watch some perfect shit. Y'all watch reality shows because they messy, right?
Literally,
literally. They're messy. I also love the quieting for me in terms of finding those moments to listen to intuition. I don't advocate for this for everybody else because it is crazy, but like I'm up at like 5:36 and I'm up at that time specifically because I know that nothing is happening. And so it's a really easy way for me to
receive.
Because like no one's texting, no one's emailing, my husband's still asleep, the dog is fucking passed out. So like it really is a time where you can just like be and be like, what am I feeling? What is coming up? What am I thinking about? It just feels like the easiest access to whatever the divine is. How do you define God now?
I still feel like God is so much bigger than any definition that I could give, which I've allowed myself to accept because I've learned to recognize God in the spots where I know God does exist.
Yeah.
Like even in this conversation, being able to look into your eyes.
Yeah.
Like being able to see God in you. Being able
Yeah.
to see God in myself and in the stranger and in the, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the bird flying across the sky. Like knowing that whatever this being is, this divinity that created me, that is a reason for my existence, is the reason why love exists in whatever form it exists in the world, and in every form it exists in the world.
Yes.
Yeah, it just feels so big, in the most beautiful way that I feel like humans, we've tried to capture God in a book, in the Bible. We've tried to capture God in the gotcha,
Yes,
but it's
yes,
like that.
it's
That's
not
not how it works. It don't work like that in the
fact, that's
Quran.
just you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's
like that's
no,
not how it
that's not
works,
it.
you know. And I think that I'm grateful that the old folks used to say, you know, I couldn't believe in a God that I couldn't feel sometimes, you know? And that's literally how I feel. And I feel like I got to the point where I was able to like let go of like the idea of like what was passed down to me and what was like given to me as a kid, and realize that I had to discover God for myself. I had to discover these things for myself. Not what religion was saying, not what the church was saying, not what mama was saying, not what daddy was saying. I had to have that own encounter. And once I got to the point in my life where I had to have that own encounter, then I was like, I can't doubt a damn thing. No, like I can't doubt it. Like it's been too intentional and too like it's a beautiful thing that I feel like we get to see a little bit of God in humanity.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the world itself can eat it up.
Yeah.
Know? It's like I think about why kids are so special, because little kids, it's like they're fresh off the boat.
They're so
of
close.
Whatever it is that's over there, they are fresh off the boat.
They got the stardust.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think we all have that, whatever that like internal battery is. I think we all have that fresh off the boat battery. But I think life and the world just throws shit and mud and leaves and
absolutely.
all kind of things on top of that battery. And it's our job to keep that vessel open. It's our job to keep that childlike openness and creativity.
How do you
eating
open it?
Suckers and you know what I mean? To keep that open.
How do you keep that channel open?
Curiosity. I think my curiosity.
That's what we love that word here. Yes.
Listen, it keeps it open because I want to know, why did they do that over there?
Yes.
Or why is this happening? Or how does that happen? Or I want to get to meet more people and see more people. That's why I love New York, because I feel like I'm constantly surrounded by all kinds of different cultures and languages and people that allow me to be curious and make me inspired as an artist.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I feel like my work allows me to like hold on to that childlike imagination. In a really beautiful
requires
way.
it.
It requires how much of a privilege that is to like have to work off of something that requires you to like be in tune with your childhood imagination.
You have to be. It's what made when I first started writing on Big Mouth, it made it difficult. I had to learn how to tap back into my imagination, because especially when you get to the animated space, but it's in anything, right? Like writing is like to build stories, but particularly with animation, it's like my bosses would always ask like, why is it animated, right? So like you're having to like take these ideas and stories and build them out to make them why talking poop or whatever it is, or talking hormone monster, and I struggled, and I realized how detached from my imagination I was, because you grow up and you try to be professional and formal, and like I'm too good for that, and it's like, no, you got to get back to silly. Like your divinity is actually in your silliness.
Literally.
Your divinity is in your laugh. Your divinity is in your release and in your ability to like spiral off into different worlds. And like that is because if we talk about God as whatever version one wants to talk about it, but this idea that God created things, it's like that took an imagination, didn't it? Like whatever that source is, like had to imagine a bumblebee, had to imagine dust, had to imagine humans. Like so we have to tap into that ourselves, and I think curiosity is exactly that. It's the willingness to not know, and it's the willingness to allow what you do know to shift and form and evolve and grow and not be what you thought it was yesterday, and not be upset by that. Be like, oh yeah, that's fucking life.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Like even when it came to the play, a lot of the play was about this idea of like, also I had to recognize that like my family, my parents were human beings.
Let's talk about that.
I had to.
When did you realize that?
Literally while writing the play.
Yes.
Because it was like, as kids, we think that their lives began when we were being raised.
Right.
And everything that they did to us, or they might have said, because it's like the African proverb, like the axe forgets but the tree remembers, and like how we hold on to like all these things that might have happened that they might have gotten right and they might have gotten wrong.
Sure.
But we hold on to them in our bodies, and they're not thinking, you know what I mean? Like that's not in their brain. But like, I think because we have this idea that they're supposed to be perfect, or they're supposed to always say the right thing, or they're supposed to always do the right thing, that it did not allow for room for grace.
Yeah.
So like you would just hold on to it, and then it took me to the point of like writing this play and just growing up and realizing like, oh snap, everybody had a life before me.
Baby.
They had traumas before me.
Yeah.
I'm not the center of
They were a kid.
Literally.
And they're still a kid.
Literally.
Yeah.
And they're not giving them the grace to grow the same way that I want to give myself the grace to grow. Like I even think about being a teenager and being like those suicidal ideations, and the idea that like I was wanting to end my life based off of how I was feeling in that moment about myself, and based off of how I perceived they saw me. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't. And then to get to this point of like being, 30 now, and like being like, oh snap, like these people are like, so, like they're my favorite people on earth.
Yeah.
Like their hearts are so big, and it's so grown, and it's so beyond the capacity of what I allowed them to be in my head as a teenager when I was soaking in my own bad thoughts,
Yeah.
Because it's like literally my parents were like perfection. The only thing was like the sexuality conversation was like the only time where it was like
there was tension.
And so it was something that I just did not think would ever be possible for them to be able to grow into the people that they are now. And it was like, that's life. That's like we grow. Like everybody's supposed to grow. I'm supposed to grow. They're supposed to grow. Everybody's supposed to grow.
Yeah. Not to quote it, but Lauryn Hill, anything that's not growing is dead.
Yes.
You're supposed to grow.
Literally.
I think that the most liberating thing anyone can do is taking their parents off a pedestal, whether they are living or past, but like taking your parents off of a pedestal. Like I know one of the commandments, honor thy mother and father, and that's all good and well, but like truly you cannot keep them on a pedestal because it dehumanizes them actually. Literally. And you have to see them as a human. You have to see the inner child in them. And by the, listen, I always say you have to, but you can do whatever you want. But I say so because I think it allows you to give yourself more grace. Yeah. Because then it's like, oh, I'm not expecting you to be everything and to be my everything. It's like, you're your own person. You're going to have flaws and you're going to fuck up, and that's okay. Yeah. And the only thing that I can do is take care of myself. Like, I have a mentor who asked me once, like, if you were your own parent, what advice would you give yourself? And it was the first time that I'd ever considered, like, what does it mean to be my own parent? And you can even if you have the best relationship with your parents, you can still have that, but you still, nobody knows you like you know you. Right. And your parents have their own life, right? Yeah. So, like, you have to be able to, like, be in your corner no matter what. And I think once you feel confident in your ability to do that, which might take time and takes trial and error, then your parents get to be who they are. Yeah. And I think there gets to be a softer relationship. Literally. I'm not in relationship with my mom, but my relationship with her is softer, even in its absence, because I expect nothing from her. And I see her as what she is, what we all are, a wounded child. Like my mom lost her mom and some shit went down, and she was grasping at religion as a way to, I think, understand such a seismic loss. Like I can't imagine. I mean, I can, but to physically lose your mother is a huge thing. And so I think I can see now, once I took her off the pedestal and saw her as a person, there's more compassion to have there. There's more empathy to have there. And there's more softness to have there. Cause like, I can take care of myself. Yeah. And I can take care of her heart from a distance as well. And that is freeing. I want to say this for anyone who else is experiencing any kind of estrangement, is that it doesn't take away the heartbreak, right? Like, it's still allowed to be a heartbreak, but it doesn't have to be a devastation. The initial might be devastating, but it doesn't have to be a devastation for the rest of your life, right? You get to grow, you get to evolve, you get to shift where that heartbreak kind of lives, or how you hold it.
Right.
And in so many ways, I think that like I honor the heartbreak. I treasure the heartbreak, because the heartbreak has allowed me to be a softer human in general. Right? The heartbreak has allowed me to be a more creative person. The heartbreak has allowed me to write a thing that I get to be proud of, that I wouldn't be able to have access to if it wasn't for that.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
It's like the storm, right? Like I remember before I even wrote my book, I wanted to write a book called Through the Storm, because I was so sick of people telling me how they got through shit, but not telling me how they got through it.
Right,
you know, it was
right,
like,
right.
some shit happened, and now look, girl, like, things are good. I was like, no, but like, what does the storm look like?
Yeah, how you got from A to Z.
Like, what are them letters in between, love? Because you just showed me A and you showed me Z, but you didn't tell me what happened here. And that is so important, that we all have our own storms. And it's not about avoiding it. It's not about escaping it.
You gotta go right.
You gotta go right through it.
You gotta go right.
They say that for a reason, love.
Literally.
you have to
go right through it.
You have to.
Because the things you will learn. The things you will learn, the tools you will have, and the knowledge that you will have, and like how to, because no storm is gonna be the exact same. It's never gonna be the exact same.
But you're gonna collect something from it.
Yes.
You're gonna have takeaways from it.
Yeah.
And that'll help you build the thing that you want. And another storm will come, and you remember, like, I get through storms.
Yeah.
You know?
Literally.
How do you get through storms?
Oof. I usually get through storms with music.
Yes. Yes, for
music,
sure.
Prayer.
Yeah.
Community.
Yeah.
Also isolation, allowing myself to like, because I used to be very bad at like sitting with feelings.
Yeah.
Because I used to want to be busy and want to be distracted, because sometimes things will hurt so bad that you didn't know how to engage with them. Like, because, you know, growing up Black in the South, it's not necessarily, you don't grow up knowing how to communicate emotions. Knowing how to communicate feelings and thoughts.
Household.
That's that.
Immigrant household. You know, talking about feelings, love.
At all. There's
Clean
no
your
room
ass
for
and
it.
get to school, love.
Literally.
Don't come home with nothing less than an A
Hello?
minus, maybe, love.
It's not a discussion.
It's not a discussion.
So then I had to learn how to develop that language for myself.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to like develop asking myself how I'm feeling. Why am I feeling like that? Okay, how do I get to the truth of the thing? Because so often I feel like I used to want to be other people's version of what I wanted them to be, or what they wanted me to be in their head. So like I would want to be the like knight in shining armor. I would want to be like, you know, grew up on the Tyler Perry movies. You want to be the dude coming in to save, you know what I mean? Coming in to save the day. Like I'm the, you know what I mean? Flawless. And you show up every day in a suit and a tie. Everybody else got on shorts. Then you like, well, get to the end of the school year. You like, well, why am I the only one in a suit? And then you get resentful for wearing a suit.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, didn't nobody tell you need to wear no suit? You know? But because I was raised to wear a suit.
Yes.
And I thought I had to wear a suit at all times. And then realizing, no, actually, I can sit with myself and I can wear whatever I want to wear today. You know? I can be whoever I want to be. If I have a thought, if I have a feeling, how do I get through immediate, like that visual of like going through something? How do you get through to the other side of it? Because if I want to live in the truth in all things, right? Sometimes I gotta have the hard conversation to get over that bridge to get to the truth.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes that hard conversation is with yourself.
Hey.
It's like, how do I? Because we also want to be the good person in everybody's story, right?
Sure.
So it's like, how do you get over the narrative that you're telling yourself and get to the truth, like how Brene Brown talks about the narratives we tell ourselves.
Yeah,
you know, because we're
telling ourselves stories all the time.
Literally, that's human. That's how our brain works. Yeah. It's like we have to tell a story.
You're storytellers,
you know.
Yeah.
But like, how do I sit with the ugly sometimes?
Yes.
And then also learning that, which is what Oh Happy Day was really playing with, this idea that even though I'm sitting through the ugly, I still have the option for happiness. It's up to me. It's not up to the storm. It's not up to what my life is looking like or who's in my life or who's not in my life. It is up to me to choose my happiness. Yeah. It is something that I have access to at any point in time, you know, and learning that belongs to me and it's not a situational or like a fair weather friend. So trying to make sure that like while I'm going through the ugly thing, how do I hold on to that? What does that look like today? Does it look like going to the movies? Does it look like going for a walk?
Yeah.
Does it look like listening to music? Does it look like reading a book?
Yeah.
Does it look like the things that are accessible to us, so we can claim to like have that little lamp in the dark to be like, oh no, you still have your happy. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. You know,
it's so important to protect your happy and to know that happy doesn't have happy has range, right?
Yes.
Like, happy doesn't always have to be like
like, turn up right.
Yeah, like happy has a range, but like to protect it and to savor it. You know, like you might cry and then you might find a moment where like, somebody sends you a little text, says I love you, or you hear a song or something small, but like protect that happy. Absolutely. Let me ask you, why do you think there have been, because there's Oh Happy Day, there was Saturday Church, there was Ho Church, and Black queer church-centered shows that were going on at the same time. Why do you think that was? I mean, other than like obviously technical schedule stuff, but like this surgence inside
I think it was so intentional because I feel like somebody needed liberation.
Yeah.
Somebody needed liberation somewhere, and I feel like especially because they were like, everybody's been working on their things in their own timelines, never knowing that we were all going to be up at never knowing. But I felt like it was so intentional in some way, shape, or form, because these are conversations that we don't necessarily normally get to have. We're also like, especially in New York City, like I remember coming here, being a church kid, and like not necessarily being around people who like you could have those conversations with about church or God or gospel music or like anything like that. So like, I feel like these plays just covered their own playground of like the necessary conversation for liberation, and like did it in like each strategic, like no play is the same.
Yes.
Has the same intention, has the same, but like they come together for this collective freedom ticket.
Yes.
It's really, really dope.
It was been so fun on social media to see people bouncing around from the different shows and like what they mean for them, especially just our community of Black queer folks being like, I saw this and I saw that and I saw this. It's like, get your life. Get it.
Listen. We taking people to church.
Yes. Listen. What's your hope for kind of, it's close to the public, so like what's your hope for the next iteration of it?
I want it to be seen by as many people as humanly possible.
Amen. Yeah.
That's my thing. I just want the world to be able to have access to it, so that little boy who was watching those church plays could have something that affirms his identity and affirms his divinity. Affirms him in all the ways that he never knew he needed, because that was my access to theater. Before coming to New York, it was those plays in the Tony Awards. That was it. And then Legally Blonde the musical, when it was on MTV. Do you remember that?
I remember.
It was so
the casting, and then they did the thing. Yes,
oh
absolutely.
So good.
Absolutely. Fucking yes.
So good.
Laura Bell Bundy, right? Yeah.
Laura Bell Bundy.
Yeah.
Yes, it's still one of my favorite musicals of all time. That show is so good.
That show was just fun.
It really is. It's just a good time.
Yes.
It's just a good time. No, but I want to be able to make theater accessible in that way, because I feel like, I always say this, I'm like, I don't know why these like theater owners on Broadway and things like that don't like have deals with like a Netflix or like Amazon Prime or like so that way every show that gets into that theater,
it's that PBS. Remember PBS is like great performances. Like that was. I lived here, so I could come see some shows, but other things that I can get to, I was watching on PBS. So some of the greatest musicals and plays,
greatest things,
great shit,
because theater is so ephemeral. It just exists in the moment,
and then it's closes and it's gone, and maybe you don't have a revival, but like you kind of, if you're not there, it's the beauty of it, but it's also kind of the like a sticking point. Like if you're not there, you missed it.
Exactly. It's kind of like with Sondheim. Like, I feel like Sondheim, we really know Sondheim because he made sure to capture each and every one of his shows in that heyday. So he filmed Into the Woods, he filmed Passion, he filmed, Pacific Overtures. He filmed these shows that like allowed it to have posterity, so that way people, more fans, generations can find it. And so whenever you do a production at a school or whatever, it's like you have a blueprint.
You have something to look at.
Yeah, you have a blueprint, which is really, really dope. I met Stephen Sondheim.
Please.
So Stephen Sondheim.
Oh my God! Oh, you met Stephen Sondheim. Oh my God!
Yes,
how was that? Tell me the story now.
So I was 20, probably like 22.
Okay.
And I was in the lobby of the Public, and I was leaving a rehearsal. And I saw him there, and he was around a whole bunch of other old white people. So, like, I had to stand there for 5 minutes to make sure that was actually Stephen Sondheim, and I wasn't like tripping. Right. So I like stood there. I was like, "That's Stephen Sondheim." I was like, "That's Stephen Sondheim." So I went out to him, and I was so nervous. I was like, "Oh my gosh, Stephen Sondheim." I'm like, yeah. He was like, "Hi." I was like, "Hi, my name is Jordan, and I'm a playwright, and you don't know, your work has made my life." And he looked at me and he said, "Is your life good?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, that's a damn good compliment."
I love that.
Right?
Is your life good?
Is your life good?
I'll take it. I love that.
Right?
That's incredible.
So
That's
special.
incredible.
Yeah,
oh
I
my
love
goodness.
That man, his work, the way he writes for women,
Yes.
yes.
Just
so good. I love theater.
Jordan, this has been the most incredible conversation.
Yes.
Shall we do one last mess?
Let's do it.
All right, I'm going to ask you the questions that we ask everybody here, and then you can answer however you want. All right, so first question is, which celebrity or fictional character could ruin your life and you'd say thank you?
Oof. That's a great question. I'm trying to think of like who were my like childhood crushes when I was a kid, like what characters. I used to be obsessed with Corbin Bleu in High School Musical.
Oh, yes.
And the curly hair.
Yeah, absolutely.
I used to really,
That's a great answer.
Yeah,
good
High
answer.
School Musical, yeah.
What's your most controversial food opinion?
Okay, it actually recently shifted.
Okay.
So I used to always hate peas so much so that I would always say I was allergic to them. So
Peas?
nobody, so nobody would give them to me.
Yeah.
And then I was at a fancy restaurant and they had peas. I was like, "Oh, peas! I ain't about to eat no peas. I don't even eat peas."
Some peas.
And I ate the pea. I was like, "This is actually really
delicious."
Good. And I realized that I had just always eaten the canned peas.
Oh.
So there was a different texture.
Fresh
peas.
peas.
Yeah, they plucked this right off the plant.
Yeah.
Okay? I said, I want a pea.
I like
Right.
Yes.
The princess and the pea.
I'm the princess, love. Yes.
Yeah.
I love a pea, except not in the mac and cheese. I don't know who needs to hear that.
Oh.
You have
Who?
somebody needs to hear that.
Who in the?
Somebody needs to hear that. Don't put it in the mac and cheese, love.
Oh,
you know,
they don't read Leviticus. That's in Leviticus.
That's-
Speaking of Leviticus, don't put peas in your back. Thou shalt not.
Thou shalt not put
Put
peas in your mac and cheese. And that's correct. You know what else? I one time, there's a restaurant in LA. They put asparagus in the mac and cheese. I said asparagus, honey. It is one of the worst flavor palettes you will ever endure.
That's disgusting. People need to stop it.
Y'all playing it on fucking face.
Donald Trump as our president. People put asparagus.
Y'all putting asparagus in and serving it and charging people for it.
Oh,
we have big problems. Okay, what's your most irrational ick?
My most irrational ick. Oh, I hate going to dinner with a whole bunch of people and then everybody want to split the bill.
Hey, talk about it. That's not irrational at all. Talk about it.
I cannot.
Please. I ain't having none of that.
I ain't have none of it.
I ain't even drink. What are y'all talking about?
Listen.
No.
I ain't ordered nothing but a water. I could get a bill for $35.
Absolutely.
I wish I would.
Yeah. I've actually started, if I know a big group is coming like that, and I know I'm not going to eat nothing crazy, I will message the host early and be like, just so you know, I will be on a separate bill.
Yeah.
Because it gets awkward when the bill drops. But although some people really don't have a problem saying absolutely not, and you should. Right. But I'm like, I'm going to let you know ahead of time so we can avoid this.
Because I don't want it to be combative and
Yeah. I'm going to let you know ahead of time that I will not be splitting the bill with y'all.
I will intentionally not eat.
Yeah.
Intentionally not eat.
I'm here for the company, love.
Literally.
The company, love. And that's what I'm here for.
Matter of fact, I'm going to get a chair and I'm going to sit outside.
Absolutely.
The table, so you know I had no parts.
I had no parts of this.
No
my car does not come. I hate a big bill split.
I can't stand it.
The only time I'm okay with it usually is like if it's somebody's birthday.
But that's how they get you. That's when it happens.
That is true.
It happens at birthdays. I feel trapped.
But I'm saying if it's a birthday of somebody, yeah, you're right. It's a particular birthday. It has to be like you're my ace.
Right.
And then I'm like,
whatever.
Right, but if you just invited me to your birthday dinner and I talk to you every now and then.
Right.
We're not splitting the bill. Because why'd you order that extra drink?
Why?
Like, you didn't need it.
Why?
You want the bottle of wine?
Right.
You didn't need it.
And don't let your man be there. Because then I'm like, you all of this. Why am I paying for you? What?
So here too?
So you doing the paying?
That.
So
Y'all ain't gonna scam me like that.
Right.
God, you know what? That particular clip really has gotten so much life. So you doing the bending?
You doing it? Really has.
It really continues.
It continues to live
Yeah.
on.
Oh, so you doing the bending?
And the fact that they were dead serious.
Yes.
The fact that they were dead serious.
Delivered that line.
And I still don't know. I still don't know what that means. I still don't know. I still don't know which is which. Doing the bending.
Who's doing the time?
Right.
I don't know.
I
So
don't
you
know.
doing the bending?
So
Yeah, because are you bending them over?
Are you doing the bending? Or are you doing the bending?
We're gonna have to do some research. Somebody's getting bent.
Somebody's
no
getting
matter
bent.
what, and that was the point. What show will you defend to the grave, even if it doesn't need defending?
The Cosby Show. I feel like I can separate.
You can separate
him from the thing that makes it hard is the fact that he was a gynecologist. That's where I'm like.
That's where it fucks.
That's where I'm like, why would you do? Yeah. Why would you do? But like, I feel like I still honor Phyllis Rashad. I still honor, you know what I mean?
Raven.
I still honor
Lisa.
Raven. I still honor Malcolm. I still honor all of them because that work, what they did at that point in time, was so unheard of.
Yeah.
Because they were given, for the first time, they were showing like this aspirational black family on television. Of course, we had the Jeffersons, but like that didn't really have family dynamics in a traditional sense.
Yes.
But like,
and the intergenerational family.
Yeah, it did it. And I feel like Good Times was aspirational, like emotionally aspirational. Yeah. But like, as far as like what that family showed, the Huxtables showed. Matter of fact, we should just rename it the Huxtables. Let's just call it the Huxtables.
Call it the Huxtables.
Let's call it the
That's
Huxtables.
tea.
But I remember when I first moved to New York, I was always obsessed with the Cosby Show as a little kid. Like I used to, anytime it was on TV Land or Nick at Night, I would record them on VHS, so I would have like a little box set.
Yeah.
And so when I moved to New York, I was like, "Ooh, I gotta go to Brooklyn, where the Huxtables live." And I remember going to find the address to where their exterior shots were. And I went, and literally the day that I went, it was being redesigned and repainted. Oh. And I was like, that felt like such a metaphor for like what was happening in the world. And yeah, I just don't understand why. I don't understand why people got to be so evil. Why? It just don't make no sense to me.
To go back to the Epstein file, like it don't make no people's evilness. I just get so confused by their unkindness, their evilness. I'm like it just, I don't know where to hold it.
My assumption is that, they got it from somebody and somewhere.
Yeah.
But I also do feel like Cosby, just like he went down, I need everybody in that damn era to go down, because they was all doing the same thing. And the white ones was always protected. Always protected.
Bring them all down.
Bring it all.
Well, that's the part of the conversation that I never like to engage in, where it's like, well, they didn't do it, they didn't come down, or I'm like, they all should.
All of them. Like, and then it's like, do we do it? This is a real conversation. Back to the Cosby Show. It's like, do we separate the person from what they created? Do we? But what also makes the Cosby Show hard is sometimes, because I know that there were victims who like were a part of the Cosby, or like who like were extras, or you know what I mean? That's what makes it hard. But like, I mean, we got a different world because of it. We got all these, so it's just, I don't know, but I feel like I do defend like what that show meant apart from the man.
I think as with art and artists and personal life and professional life, you have to accept that there's going to be a gray space, right? Yeah. And that there's going to be some threads that are, and so I think everyone's going to do what they're going to do, what makes them most comfortable. But I think you can hold space that like this terrible thing happened, and also that there were also the other people who's part of that legacy, as you said, like Felicia Rashad and Raven Simone and Eric Alexander or Malcolm Jamal. Like they were like, I was obsessed with Vanessa. Like that character meant Tempest, a lot to me. Tempest. I mean, I watched her talk show. I was obsessed with her. You know what I'm saying? Like so, like and so I think there's a way to hold what those things mean for you, and what it did for you, and what what it taught you, what it made you feel about yourself, and also hold space for the victims, and not just hold space, but like advocate for them and for justice for them as well. Like
I think they should redirect every residual. Every single residual should go from as far as from his check. Now, give everybody his stuff, but his checks need to go direct.
Absolutely. You know, it's funny. The TV shows are sometimes harder for me than the music, because like with R. Kelly, I know there are other producers, but I'm always like, well, you were the front, like it's you. Right. Like, there's not a cast here. It's you. So I'm like, that's easy for me to go. Nah.
Yeah, same. Like I haven't intentionally listened to R. Kelly in years. And that's not to say that the music wasn't good. Because let me tell you something. If somebody riding down the street and they got R. Kelly blasting, and I'm gonna enjoy myself.
The music was right. The music, you can't listen. The music was, which is what makes it so dark.
So dark. Or the fact that he had Aaliyah singing AJ Number to Number.
You're like, oh, this is so dark. I was like, oh, I can't actually listen. Even like not to go on this tangent, but the documentary, when they start talking about, like, he starts going into specifically Step in the Name of Love and all those songs that are specifically catering to like family black cookout kind of vibes, and you're like, oh, because you're hiding. And so once they made that connection, I was like, okay, it's very easy for me to go.
It's sad. And let's talk about it. That ain't nothing but a macrocosm for what be happening in family dynamics.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the way that people protect, the way they were protected.
Exactly.
But I mean, same shit here. I'm having complicated relationships right now with Will and Grace right now, because Miss Deborah Messing has been, maybe she needs to come to the show. Deborah Messing has been a mess, and you're like, oh, and now I'm like, I don't like Will and Grace. It was a really important show, really pivotal in terms of my queerness, and so it's like, how do you hold that? Obviously it's not sexual assault, but it's still Islamophobia and all this stuff that's so you're like, where do you is it okay to watch this anymore?
Because it really does, because then I feel wrong flushing everybody else's work down the drain because of one person.
Because of that one person. What's the first song you'd play if you hijack the aux cord right now?
Oh, the first song I would play, probably Bodega Baddie.
Hey, very nice. If you could whisper one piece of advice, one piece of messy advice into the world's ear, what would it be?
One piece of messy advice.
Yeah, one messy piece of advice.
Don't nobody know what they doing. These people don't know what they doing. If you're an aspiring artist,
baby,
once you get here,
baby,
you're gonna see these people don't know what
it don't matter what, baby. Don't matter what credibility or what the blue checks are. Don't matter how much money they got behind them. I'm like, people really don't know what they doing.
They don't know. Well, they just got more money to do it. That's the problem.
They got more money to not know what they're doing.
Literally.
So like, just show up. Literally. Act like you know what you're doing, and you'll be in the room. Period. Yeah. And the last thing, what do you love most about yourself?
My heart.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I got my heart from my granny. She was a very big-hearted person, and like took in people and fed people, and the door was always unlocked, and she just like held court. Like her version of love was like feeding. Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna feed you. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna pray with you. and I feel like we lost her earlier this year, and it's just crazy how much I realized like we were so much alike. Even like, I swear if she wasn't a housewife, she would have been a movie star.
Yeah,
like she like Mississippi. Like I found all these like tapes that she had, because she would rent this camcorder like almost every weekend and like would film everything. She filmed from like the late 70s to like the early 90s. And I was able to like digitize some of her tapes and just watch them, and she was just like talking to the camera, talking about welcome to my TV studio, and, blah, 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 and like hosting it like family dinner as if she was like a news reporter, And I think about like, I'm so glad that she got to see, me doing the Miss Pat show, and, all the things, and she was just so proud. But really I definitely feel like I got
continued her legacy.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
It's really dope.
That's the best, baby. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Goodness, it was so good. Yes.